All right, in this training, we are going to talk about writing ads that get clicked. This is a very important piece of the process because many of the search engines, many of the places where you're going to run your ads, the higher your click through, the higher or the lower your cost per click is going to be. And that's because more and more people are clicking on your ad, so you're actually getting more money for the search engines. More people click on your ad, you take them to your winning offers, means you're making more money. So this is a very important piece of the process. So let's talk about how to write ads that get clicked so you can skyrocket your paid traffic profits. So you have a goal, and the goal of your ad are four things. First of all, the goal of your ad is to make people stop. It's really not to sell them because there's not enough room in that small ad to sell people. Think of like a mannequin in the front of a store, a retail shop. The goal of that mannequin is to get people who are walking on the sidewalk to stop and look in the store. Once you look in the store, you may decide to come in. So the goal of your mannequin and the goal of your ad is to get people to stop. And once they stop, they see your message, then they may come into your sales process. So the second thing is to make them identify. What you want to do is separate them from the herd. In other words, you're trying to identify out of all the people doing these searches, who are the ones really that are potential prospects that I can sell to, and you're getting them to raise their hands. And then the second step is you're taking them to a landing page where you can ask them for their name and email address where you can continue the dialogue. The next thing is you want to make them click. Once they stop, the second part is to make them click. Typically, your call to action, whatever you're using as a call to action, is what's going to drive them to that click in combination with a couple other things. But the main goal is to make them click. Then from there is to pre-sell your offer or basically start the buying process. Folks, think about it this way. If you pre-frame your offer as, hey, get this for free, what's happening here? You're going to attract the wrong people to that ad. So all these people looking for freebie stuff then come to your website, then they don't buy, and you're going to ask yourself, why is that? So you're pre-selling your offer by framing your message the right way and attracting the right person. And all of this, what you see here, leads to higher click-through rates. So let's talk about the ad psychology. Most people are reactive, not proactive. Let me repeat that. Most people are reactive, not proactive. In other words, people don't say, hey, let me go out and figure out how to look younger. Or I shouldn't say that. Most people aren't going to go out and do a search that says, let me look younger longer. What they now say is, how do I reverse the aging process? It's already happened. So when you're looking at your offers, remember that. Don't sell fear of gain, you sell the fear of loss. So again, people are reactive. So when they're looking for a solution, when they're looking for something online, something has already happened. Don't try to push or sell what they can do to prevent something. What you want to sell in your ads is how to reverse or erase something that's already happened. So the other thing is, remember, they aren't looking to get something. They want to get rid of something, okay? They aren't looking to get something. They want to get rid of something. By the time they search in Google, the problem has already been a real pain in their side. Think of someone who has a back problem. They don't search, hey, let me prevent back issues. They go into Google and say, my back hurts. And it's usually not the day they hurt their back. It's been happening for a while. And they finally got to the point where they're sick and tired of it. So avoid pain before you desire gain. Avoid losing money before making extra money, if that makes sense. Now, here's an example. Get the beautiful skin you've always wanted versus get rid of the wrinkles underneath your eyes. The latter is going to produce a whole lot more results, again, because those wrinkles are already there. People want to get rid of them. Okay, let's talk about the whys. You have to understand the whys, and you've got to get this piece right, because this is what makes the psychology of an ad a winning offer versus that of a bad offer. Most people don't understand this. So when you start your marketing, you want to start with the why. You must understand why people are willing to buy what you are selling. Why are they looking for this? What is the reason someone goes into Google and they type in ergonomic chair? What is the reason someone goes into Google and they type in work from home, start a business, lose weight? Why are they doing this? And once you understand that, these are the things you're going to incorporate in your ad. So the way that you do this is you study your product and you go out and see, go into some of the forums, go into other people's websites, kind of get an understanding. If you have to do a survey to understand the why, do a survey and drive traffic to a survey and ask people, hey, why are you looking for this product? So what is it that you want from this product? That's kind of what you want to understand. And here's one that I really like. What happens if you buy my product? Right? Have you ever asked yourself that question? What happens if you buy my product? What changes in your life? What doesn't change in your life? Right? If you understand that answer, that's the core answer you've got to get good at understanding, you can sell anything. So the key is sell the why, not the product. Most people, if you go to Google and you do a search for ergonomic chair, they're selling chairs. Well, people aren't going to look for an ergonomic chair because it's a chair. They're looking for that chair because they've got back issues. So sell the why. Sell what the product does. Don't sell the chair. Who cares about the chair? So what you want to do when you're starting an ad or a project or a campaign, start by making out a list of whys. So let's look at an example of whys in the weight loss market. We've got lose weight, feel good, fit in clothes, have energy, look sexy, attract the opposite sex, and impress your friends. I mean, think about this. Someone who wants to lose weight, these are all the things that's going on in their mind that they're thinking, man, wouldn't it be nice to have extra energy? Wouldn't it be nice to look sexy for the opposite sex, right? Wouldn't it be nice to finally feel good? And I would tell you, probably being attractive to the opposite sex is probably the highest motivator out of everything that you see here. Now, here's an example of an ad, right? New ebook teaches men how to meet women. Think about that if you are running an ad for a dating offer. New ebook teaches men how to meet women. That's a great example of a why. Why would you be looking for information on dating? Because you want to meet men. I mean, if you're men, you want to meet women, and if you're women, you want to meet men. Another example is 3 ways to become irresistible to the opposite sex and have more dates than you know what to do. Right? Think about that. 3 ways to become irresistible to the opposite sex. So what are we selling here? The why. Why buy this product? So you can become attractive and irresistible to the opposite sex. You're not buying this just for the information. Now, let's talk about why people click. They see your ad, right? There's 10 other ads on that page. Why are they going to click on your ad versus the next ad, right? They're only words on the page. They're all words. You've got words. They've got words. Why are they going to click on yours versus someone else? Well, first of all, they've identified with something in your ad, right? There's something you've said in that ad that helped them relate to you. There's something that you said that they feel that you understand what their need is. So part of that process means you've got to take the time to understand your customer's needs. That's why we start with the whys, right? If the ad says, use this ebook to lose 15 pounds and attract more men, then that person says, that's what I would love to do. This person knows why I want to lose weight. They believe the solution to their problem is on the other side of that click. Because they've identified with you, they feel if I click on this ad, I'm going to get us the answer to the solution or to the problem that I have. So part of understanding your whys, part of writing good copy is you're talking their language. You're letting them know I am about to solve your problem. Again, looking at the ergonomic chair, as we mentioned, many of those guys focus on the what is. So they don't talk about, hey, I understand you've got back problems. Let me help you solve that back problem, right? So they're not solving that solution on the other side of the click. You've piqued their curiosity. In other words, you've said something. You really didn't give them the answer, but you've said something that the only way they can get the answer is if they click on your ad. So you've piqued their curiosity. All right, so let's talk about getting the sale and how the ad plays a role in getting your sale. Many people only focus on the sales piece only when they get to the website, but it actually starts from the keyword to your ad, then to that sale on the website. So let's talk about that. First of all, you've got to understand the user intent of the keyword. If someone types in free golf balls, they're not looking to buy golf balls and may not be the best group of people that you want to get in your sales funnel. Now, if it's a product where maybe there's 2 or 3 steps, maybe you can give the first step for free, then steps 2 and 3 you can sell, then that's okay. But in this case, if it's golf balls, they want free golf balls, then there's nothing else you can sell that person. So understand the user intent of the keyword. Are they looking to spend money or are they not looking to spend money? Write an ad that piggybacks on that intent. So if someone says, buy Callaway golf balls or buy Callaway club, you want to write an ad that says, hey, the easiest way to buy a Callaway golf club is ... So what is it? They typed in buy Callaway golf club. Want a Callaway golf club? Get it here. So you see that ad piggybacks off the intent. The next thing is create a sales process that follows through on that intent. Most marketers will create one sales process. In other words, there's one landing page and that's it. So what you want to do is to create a sales process that follows through on that intent. In other words, let's say you have a website where you sell 50 different golf clubs. Someone types in buy Callaway golf clubs. Your ad says buy Callaway golf club. They get to your webpage and it talks about everything you need to know to buy Callaway golf clubs. Here's what the Callaway has. If they typed in buy a Big Bertha, your ad says buy a Big Bertha. Your landing page says everything you need to know to understand how and why you should buy a Big Bertha. My ad doesn't say, or my landing page doesn't say everything you need to know to buy a golf club, because that's not what you typed in. You typed in Big Bertha. So what you want to do is create that sales process that follows through on the intent of what they were looking for. If they typed in best golf club, well, your landing page needs to say, let me tell you about the best golf clubs on the internet. There's 2 that I recommend. First is the Callaway. Second, it's the Big Bertha. You see how that changes, how I changed that sales process to match what they typed in? So those are some things you want to do to continue on that sale. The other thing is, don't reinvent the wheel. Marketers think we need to reinvent the wheel, and we don't. Someone has already done all the work for us. So the key is don't try and start from scratch with your marketing and with your advertising. Make it a point to look for ads that are reoccurring. You're using Google, you're using Bing, you're using print ads. You're looking for ads that are running continuously and running over and over and over and over. Why? Because that's an ad that's running, especially if they are using paid traffic. I've already given you some of the sites that you want to use. For example, keywordspy.com, adfood.com, whatrunswhere.com, and adbeat.com. These websites will, and I found another one called similarads.com. That's a really, really good one. And what these tools will do is they will show you ads that are running consistently so that you can go out and model after them. You don't have to start over from scratch. What you want to do is keep a folder on your computer. I call this my swipe file. Whenever I see an ad, I will take a screenshot. I use Jing. You can go to techsmith.com and download Jing, J-I-N-G, and it's actually free. And what I do is I take a screen capture of the ad and I will save it in my swipe file. So whenever I'm writing a new ad, I will always go into my swipe file and see. Again, you can get that at techsmith.com and download a free copy of Jing. So types of ads that get clicked on the most. Let's look at that. So the ads that are going to get clicked on the most are the ones that do a couple things. One, they release emotions, they deliver specifics, they pique curiosity, and they get prospects involved. They ask questions. I know you're saying, well, how can I deliver specifics and be curious at the same time? I will show you how we do that. So let's talk about releasing emotions. All purchases are made from emotions and backed with logic. It's an emotion. You feel it in the heart first. If you can make someone feel something, good or bad, you can make them happy or you can make them angry. But if you get them emotionally charged, logic goes out the window. So they will buy because of that emotions. So emotions take logic out of the buying process. They cannot think when they are emotional, right? Remember that. Logic Emotions take logic out the buying process. Make them feel bad, make them feel good, but make them feel something in your ad. Here's an example. Tired of looking fat in those jeans? Think about that for a second if you're someone who feels that you're overweight, right? Tired of looking fat in those jeans. Wouldn't that make you emotional? Doesn't that give you a little twinge in your heart as you hear that? Absolutely. So the next thing is deliver specifics. Specific answers the how and the when, right? Specifics tell them, how is this going to happen? When is it going to happen? And they need to understand that. So it gives them something to latch onto in your ad. So if you say to them, happens in 2 days, they say, 2 days I can have this solution. Remember I talked about they believe the answer to their solution is on the other side of that click. The specifics gives them the answer. It gives them that reason why they should click. Lose 15.4 pounds versus lose weight. Which is more powerful? Right? Lose 15.4 pounds because you're thinking, wow, 15.4 pounds. I can see that. I can see what 15.4 pounds is. I cannot see what lose weight is. Specifics also gives them a sense of closure. They know exactly what to expect in that ad, especially if majority of the people want to lose 15.4 pounds. Okay. You want to use words like X number of days. You want to use numbers. Numbers do fantastic in an ad. If you can put a number in an ad, it's always going to do well. Let's talk about curiosity. Curiosity killed the cat. It's a basic human emotion. It doesn't matter what young, old, men, women, nationality, what country, it's a human emotion. Curiosity killed the cat. So you need to put that in your ad. It's a psychological trigger. So again, look at children. Think about a child who has less reasoning skills than an adult. What does human nature show you in children? If you ever wanted a child to behave, all you have to do is close your fists and say, I'm not going to give you what's in here. And what does the child say? Okay, what is it? That's because it's a human emotion. We cannot control that. So the other thing about that is it makes them want to click. It's an overwhelming desire. They've got to satisfy that itch. Now, you may disappoint them on the other side because you didn't tell them what they're looking for. That's why you got to make sure you target your keywords the right way. But long as what you're offering them on the other side is what that itch is going to satisfy, you're doing very well. So you want to use words like must see, this, new. I mean, these are the words that people say, well, what is this new thing? What is this must see thing that everyone is talking about, right? So then the next thing is questions. The thing about questions is question mark is a very powerful thing in marketing. And why is that? Because when you ask the question, again, another human emotion, psychologically, your brain has to answer the question. You cannot see a question and your brain doesn't search for the answer. Now, you've got to get good at asking the right questions so when they do search or the answer they want is, yes, I do want this, and so I have to click. So questions, what the questions do in the marketing process is it gets the prospect involved. If the answer is yes, then logical conclusion is the click. It's what we call the slippery slope, right? If the answer is yes, then the logical conclusion is to click. Here's an example. Do you want to save money on your car insurance? Well, who doesn't want to save money on your car insurance? The brain searches for the answer and the brain says, yes, I do. Well, the only way to find out is to click. But then we add curiosity, and I'll show you an example in a second of what that looks like. So here's some examples. Have a problem, want X, tired of X, right? Tired of X would be some kind of problem that they may be tired of. So here's some examples that we can look at to show you what we're talking about here. Hate your pimples? Who loves their pimples? No one does. Get rid of those ugly pimples in 21 days with this. So let's break this ad down so you can see. First of all, we've got a lot of the elements that I told you about. We've got the question, hate your pimples. Get rid of those ugly pimples. What a strong, powerful, emotional word. It may almost make you want to cry when you hear this. So get rid of those ugly pimples in 21 days. Folks, how many days? 21 days. If you have pimples, can't you see that? Hey, wow, in just 3 weeks, I can be rid of these things. You can actually see it. It makes you feel the solution is on the other side of this click. So 21 days, very specific with this. What is this? Aren't you saying to yourself, what is this miracle cure? What is this thing that will solve my issues when it comes to acne and pimples, right? So this ad here has a lot of the elements that we talked about. Let's look at another one. 7-day acne relief. You too can look beautiful in 7 days or less with this acne treatment. Now, this is not a question, but 7-day acne relief. Very specific, 7-day acne relief. Then we say, you too can look beautiful. What does that insinuate? If I have acne, I am not beautiful. And that's not the case, because there's people with acne who are absolutely gorgeous. But psychologically and emotionally, this says that you are not beautiful. So you too can look beautiful. And when can it happen? You mean in 7 days I can look beautiful with this acne treatment? What is this acne treatment? We have no idea what this acne treatment is until we click on the link and then go through to the other side. So another example of a really good ad that you can run. Here's another one. Acne problems. Now this one is a question mark, right? Hate showing your face in public. This clears your skin by next Friday. Now again, I've got friends who've got acne, and every once in a while my wife may have a case of acne that will break out, and she just does not want to leave the house. That's where the crux of this ad came from. Hate showing your face in public. This clears your skin by next Friday. Right? Again, very good question. Very good emotional question, again, which is hate showing your face, which is what a lot of people with acne may be feeling. Now, I know this market because I know people who are in this market and have studied it. So I know what the psychological issues are for people in this market. That's why you want to study the whys and why people may buy a product. Now, the key is be careful in Google with this style of ad. When you're using very, very specific numbers in Google, you got to make sure that you can back it up. Because one of the things that Google doesn't like is if you're going to make a claim that cannot be backed. In any ad, you don't want to make false claims. But Google is going to be more strict on using numbers and things of that nature. All right, so let's talk about angles and what angles are and how it plays into writing effective ads. Now, angles are the different ways of penetrating a niche market, especially from an ad standpoint. In other words, the market identifies with something. Let's look at weight loss, for example. Weight loss for men versus weight loss for women. Weight loss for people who are 20 versus weight loss for people who are 40. Those are different angles of penetrating the weight loss market. One of them is higher than the other. We just don't know until we test. So when you're writing your ads, when you're testing different ads, the key is not just to test different words, but you want to test different angles, right? And I'm going to give you some examples of angles in a second. So here's an example here. Pimples versus acne. Do more people identify with pimples versus do more people identify with acne? We don't know. See, a lot of times when marketers think about testing, they will think of testing as, let's change a couple words. You know, this make money product is hot. This make money product is great. Yes, hot and great, one of them will give different results. But if we go after a different angle, that's completely different results versus just a few percentage points. So when you're changing words, you're getting a few percentage point increase or decrease. When you're changing angles, you're actually going after whole new markets, whole new segments. Weight loss versus fat burners. Some people think about fat burners. Some people think of love handles. Other people think weight loss. Which one of them is a higher number? You don't know until you test. Men versus women. Exercise for men, exercise for women. Which one of them is going to spend more money? You don't know until you test. Buy a home versus sell a home. If you're a real estate agent, which one do you want to do? Do you want to help people buy homes, or do you want to help people sell homes? Which one of them is a higher prospect for you? How about age difference? Like I said, people who are in their 20s versus people who are in their 40s and 50s. How about make money from home? Or maybe make money for baby boomers, right? Isn't that a whole new angle? Isn't that baby boomers think differently than people who are in their 20s? First of all, the baby boomers have a whole lot more disposable income. Now, let's look at some possible angles in the make money niche, right? You've got make money. How about tired of being broke? So does your message say, do you want to make money? Or is your message saying tired of being broke? Because again, tired of being broke is that fear of loss. It's that being reactive versus proactive. They're already broke, so you want to help them go from being broke to making money. How about make money faster, right? Make money easier. Those are two different angles. Make money faster, make money easier. Do they want to make it fast or do they want the easy way? Make money while you sleep. These are the people who are lazy and say, I don't want to do any work. I just want to make money while I sleep. How about make money and keep it? What a great angle here. Finally, a way to make money and keep all of it. Here's one. Finally make money. What does finally make money say to you compared to all these other angles we looked at? It says you've been trying for a long time and you haven't made any money yet. So finally, a way to make money. Right? So someone who wants to make money easier is very different than someone who says, I've been doing this for a while and I finally want to make money. Make money for beginners. What does that tell you? Well, I'm just starting out, never even thought about doing this before, so let me start to make money now. That's a different angle. I've got a product in an investing niche, and one of the angles we're going after is beginner investors. Why? I don't want to go after the seasoned investors because they may not need the product that we're selling. So our ads are all beginner investing strategies, right? Hopefully that makes sense. How about this one? Make money now. What does that say? Not later, but make it now. So let's talk about writing an ad. What you want to do is you want to write a complete ad. Don't worry about the length. I know a lot of different places have certain length requirements, so don't worry about the length when you start your ad. You can always go back and start cutting the ad down to match what the ad revenue or the ad place you're looking to advertise with needs and requires. So you want to pay attention to your angles, pay attention to your benefits, and let's do some live examples. 3 ways to lose 15 pounds in 10 days without crazy diet so you feel good about yourself and make your friends jealous with envy. That's a very long ad. It's almost a headline for the website. There's no place we can run this ad and that ad would fit. It's just way too long. So what we want to do is we want to start cutting this ad down to size. So we make it long so we can get all of our benefits, we get all of our angles in there, and then we're going to start cutting it down. So we may do 3 ways to lose 15 pounds in 10 days. Lose 15 pounds in 10 days without crazy diets. Lose 15 pounds in 10 days and make your friends jealous with envy. So you see, we take that long ad and we start to cut it down. So what you then do is you may come up with 10, 15, 20, 30 different versions of this ad, and then you pick the one that resonates most with you. So the key is you want to be different. Try to stand out with your ad. You don't want to be the same ad that everyone else is doing. So what does that mean? Wherever you're going to run your ads, go in and take a look at what everybody else is saying. Don't just pop the ad in there. Look at what everyone else is saying so you can do different. Look at what everyone else is doing and do the opposite. If you are running a display ad, you want to use contrasting colors in your ads to make them stand out. What you want to do is go to Google and search for something called opposite colors. So if you're on a website and you're running an ad and the background on the website is green, you want to find out the opposite color to green, which I believe is red, and you'd want to run a red ad because that would make your ad stand out. So again, use contrasting colors to make your ad stand out on the page. You want to use crazy words. Don't use the usual humdrum words that everyone else is using. Use crazy words, use crazy images in your ad. Sometimes the images may absolutely be insane. It's maybe you're laughing with your eyeballs popping out. You know, things like that makes your ad stand out on the page. Remember what I said. You're trying to make them stop. If there's a big eyeball or a skeleton or something that makes them stop, what do? As they're stopping, they then read your ad that's next to that ad. And use pictures of normal people. Believe it or not, pictures of normal people actually stand out because everyone is trying to use supermodels and those kinds of people, so they're developing banner blindness. So if you go out and you use an image of a normal person, someone says, hey, that's like my friend. Who is that? And they can relate to that. Remember what I talked about, that relationship or having them identify and relate to you? A normal picture helps them do that. So Here's some examples: the real way, weird trick, the number one way to do something, unusual way. If you want to lose weight in 7 days, then do this. Stop everything you are doing until you read this special report. If you do this, then that. If you click here, then solve this problem. Number one recommended solution by most X. Number one recommended acne solution by most not chiropractors, by most dermatologists. I almost got that mixed up, right? So you see how we're using different words. The number one is a great thing you can put in there. Weird trick, the real way. When I say the real way, what do you think? You're thinking, well, everything else must be fake, so this has got to be the way. Easiest way to lose 15 pounds in 10 days, right? That's just everything else is hard. This is the easiest way. So let's look at some other ads. Number one weird trick for amazing fat loss. Folks, that is a great ad. You can use that ad for any type of niche market. Number one way to lose weight without fad diets or crazy exercise programs. Number one way to lose weight without fad diets or extreme exercise programs. Unusual way to lose 15 pounds that even your doctor won't tell you about. If you want to lose 10 pounds fast, then you have to watch this free video presentation, right? If this, then that. Stop everything you are doing until you watch this free quick weight loss presentation. Number one, most recommended weight loss solution by most fitness experts. Easiest way to lose those unwanted pounds and feel good about yourself. Remember, those were examples of our whys. Let's talk about your call to action. You got to tell them what to do. If you don't tell them what to do, they won't do it. So try to get a call to action in there if you have enough room to. Get it here, read it now, download now, watch this presentation, buy it here, save now. So those are call to actions that you want to incorporate in your ad to get them to do what you want them to do. So let's talk about the prep for the ad. First thing is study the angles of existing ads. Go into the search engines, go to Google, go to Bing, go to Yahoo, go to Facebook. Look at what people are saying so you can see the different angles that you may want to attack. You may even go into some of the forums, so type in your keyword and forum in Google and see what people are talking about, what their pressing issues are. Have your keywords themed and grouped. We're going to talk about keywords in a later module, but you want to group your keywords. You want to write down your list of benefits, write down the problems, write down the solutions, and try to come up with 20 to 30 ads. And as you read those 20 to 30 ads that you come up with, one of them is going to stick out like a sore thumb for you. And take the top 3 or 4 because those are the ones that you're going to then go out and test. All right, let's talk about split testing your ad. Split testing your ad basically is you take ad number 1 and then you take ad number 2. Most places where you're going to advertise, they're going to allow you to run the 2 ads to the same offer. And sometimes it could be 3 or 4, but you never really want to do more than 2 or 3. 3 ads max. Mostly I like to do 2. Then what you're doing is you're sending half of the visitors to ad 1 and half of the visitors to ad 2. Then what happens is you get to see a picture. On ad number 1, I get X click-through rate. Ad number 2, I get X click-through rate. So in other words, 100 people see ad number 1, 100 people see ad number 2. Ad number 1 got 20 clicks. Ad number 2 got 5 clicks. So what does that mean? Ad number 1 far outpaces ad number 2 because ad number 1 is getting a whole lot more clicks. The people identify with ad number 1 more than the people identify with ad number 2. So that tells you I need to fix what's going on in ad number 2. Or mostly, what am I saying in ad number 1 that's working so well that I can improve and split test in ad number 2? So first thing that you want to test is your click-through rate. And typically, a good click-through rate is going to be 1 to 3%. I get anywhere from 5 up to 27% click-through rate using what I've taught you here in this training. The next thing you want to test is your conversion rate. So let me show you something that could happen. Ad number 1, we said had 20 people click on it, right? Ad number 2 had 5 people click on it. So ad number 1 has a 20% click-through rate. Ad number 2 has a 5% click-through rate. So now you're saying ad number 1 is the winner. But what's our conversion rate now? And conversion rate, I mean, what's the percentage of people who are buying the product? So all the people who bought ad number 1, none of them bought the product. From the 5 people who clicked on ad number 2, 3 of them bought the product. So ad number 1 has a way higher click-through rate, but ad number 2 has a much higher sales conversion rate. That's a way better metrics. So we don't want ad number 1, believe it or not, because ad number 1 is getting us the clicks but no sales. Ad number 2 is not getting us the clicks, but it's getting us the sales. So there's an angle in ad number 2 that's attracting the right person. So when you're looking at your ads, you want to have in all places you're going to advertise, and we're going to show you this in a later module, but you want to turn on the conversion tracking for your ads. And for tracking, I like to use, tracking 202, link track R, and also the conversion tracking inside of Facebook as well as in Google. So I'm looking at that ad, and I'm looking at what's the click-through rate, and then I'm also looking at what's the percentage of the people who are buying that product, and then I'm seeing where's the winning combination, right? Am I getting the sales or am I not getting the sales? Because I don't care. I care about the clicks, but I care more about the sales. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. The other thing that I like to do is I'll test a position and how that affects my click-through rate, as well as how does that affect my conversion rate. So my ad in position number 1, what does that mean for my click-through rate? What does that mean for my sales? And then I will run my ads in positions number 2, 3, or 4 and see what does that mean. So one test I found was in position number 1, a particular ad in one day brought in somewhere around 20, 30 sales. The same ad in position number 8 brought in about 2 sales. So what did I find out? Yes, I was able to significantly reduce my cost per click because I got a whole lot less clicks, but average dollar, I only made about 40, 50 bucks in position number 8 versus in position number 1, I made several hundred. So I would rather pay the higher cost and have several hundred than the lower cost and only have 1 or 2. So you want to test your position and how position affects your ad. So as you lower your bids and your ads change position, you want to look at, okay, what happens to my sales? So the key here, folks, is, so this is the psychology behind writing good ads. I've shown you some examples of good ads. What you want to do now is take action. Go out and start practicing your ads. I wanted you guys to see this because as we get into the actual traffic piece, if you don't have the ad piece done and down to a science, you're going to struggle a little bit with the ad piece or the traffic piece because you're not going to get your clicks and the conversions. So what you want to do is go out, find a niche market that you're in or one that you want to go in, and look at starting to create 20 to 30 ads that you can start looking at different angles and see which one that you want to keep going with. So we will see you on the next module.